Hi everyone, welcome back to my new video. So, I want to discuss this before starting my video content. I want to discuss that from few days or from past 1 month, I've been little inconsistent in putting videos and this there are mainly two reasons in it. One reason is that my project deadline is approaching, so you know a lot of pressure is there and late night calls and because of this I'm not able to post the videos daily as I used to do earlier. Second reason is that shifting. What shifting? You might be thinking that I was in Pune, and what kind of shifting I'm doing. Yes, my base location is Pune, but in the project that I'm currently in, I have been getting work from home. So my sister, my real sister, she got a job in Gurgaon, so I came here to help her out in settling and all, and also to give her company. When in last month only she joined, and we came to Gurgaon, and I was helping her out. We took one RK flat, and that was just, we needed something at that time. It was quite expensive. Only advantage was it was near to the metro station, but it was quite expensive, and things were not fine what we were paying for. So we decided to change in 1 month. So after living there for 1 month, we decided to change, and now we have shifted to a flat. But the only disadvantage is here that it's really far from metro station. But overall rent, everything, facilities are far better than the place where we were living earlier. But and we why these things happen, because she doesn't have to go to office daily, so that's why. So because of all these things going on, and shifting and work and managing everything, and I'm not able to focus on my YouTube. So I hope the things are a little bit, clear now. Now let's start with our video. So basically, in today's video, we will see that how, you know, how we are you going to use ConfigMap or secrets in our deployment YAML files, which we are going to deploy in our um, Kubernetes or our cluster. Okay, so yeah, let's go. Before understanding, why we use config map, why we use secrets, the difference between the two, I think I had discussed the difference between the two in my previous videos, but in order to have lot more clarification, what is the difference between config map and secrets.yaml. So config map is when we want any key value pair uh, to be used in our as an environment variable, uh, in our pod. Sometime to run our code we need some environment variables to be set. Okay, so because pod is supporting our application, so that application is running on backend by code, and code might need some values, might need some values to be passed, which are not sensitive, but yeah, they will be required uh, for the code to run. So that's why when we create a pod for our application, we need to pass it, or when we create a deployment, we need to pass uh, those key value pair as a config map and set them in env. Okay, Secrets are nothing but the same key value pair where we are storing the credentials, passwords, secret or sensitive data, but so here the value is, you know, is visible. We can see the values. It's nothing that it will be encoded or, it will be plain. But in secrets, the values will be encoded. It won't be visible unless we decode it. So secrets are used for storing sensitive information. Either we can use it like either we can populate it the same way code needs those secrets to run our application. So that's why we need to pass those secrets, uh, you know so in environment variable we need to pass those secrets. So these there are 2 3 ways where we can, how we can make our pod use those values. Maybe we mount it as a volume mount, maybe we are just using it as environment variable. So in this way you can do it. So basically I made the video about it, but I think the demo was pending, that how we can use it in our code. So for using the, you know uh, configmap.yaml, we need to create one configmap.yaml, and there we need to put the kind as configmap, metadata of the config map, and whatever key value pair like app environment is production, and app what do you say, app label is, you know um, DevOps, test, then app, uh, app name. So whatever things you want to use, so you have to define this and you have to give data. Okay. So in this way, you will define this configmap.yaml. After defining the configmap.yaml, you need to call those configmap.yaml in your deployment.yaml into your deployment.yaml. So maybe in configmap.yaml, I would like to go to, okay, yeah. So maybe you want to use um whole config map.yaml. All the variables that are defined over here, key value pair, you want to use everything, you want them to be injected as environment variables, all of that. But there is another way to do it. If you want only the specific keys to be, mapped or picked, then to define the specific key of the from the config map, there is another way. Or if you want to use, or if you want to mount config map as volume, there is another way. So I will demonstrate all the 3 ways. So I hope things are clear. One way, let me put this so that it's easy for us to. So config map inject all config map ref as a environment variable. Second is pick specific keys, and third is mount as a volume. Okay, mount as a volume. So all the 3 ways we are going to discuss. So now in when we go to our deployment, so basic changes will be happening in deployment.yaml. So in deployment.yaml, the first thing that when we want everything to be injected as a environment variable, then we do environment from, and we have to define it as a key value where we will give tab config map ref. Okay, config because it is mapping, then tab name, and the name of our let me duplicate this. So if I go to my config map.yaml, so this my app config will go in here. So this will inject all the key value pair defined in our my app config environment variables, all of them. But if we want to pick specific keys, then in that case we need to give environment tab name of that key, like if whatever in what name we want to you know reference it, like I want to reference it with same name. So that then we will give value from where we are picking this value, again tab, and config map ref, then tab name of that, and which key. So we will put key. So key will be my app in one. So this is the key. So the specific key should be picked. In similar way, if I have to define more, then I have to give it, sorry. So here there should be a space, and again there is an indentation. There will be a space, indentation, tab, tab, and tab. Okay. So if suppose I want to define more keys, then indentation has to be followed, name, then app, whatever. If you want to give just label, in the same way you have to reference in your code. Okay. So label, tab, again value, the same thing will be there. It's just that value from, it's just that this will change, key will change. Fine. So in this way we will this was the second scenario. Next scenario is when we want to mount it as a volume. Then first of all, where we need to create the volume first. For that, so name, yeah, name of the volume, that is config volume, and then tab, then which volume, from which, like which config map it should create the volume. So you have to give my app config. Okay, now the volume has created, config volume has been created. Now you want to mount this volume to some, so you have to give volume mounts. Okay, and then tab hyphen name, what name you want to which volume you want to mount. So this is config volume, and then which mm, and what will be the mount. So where are you going to mount this volume? So on this path the config map data will be mounted. So this is the third scenario that we have seen. I hope things are clear now, and we have covered the config map.yaml. In next video, we will be covering the secrets.yaml because the video is extending. So I don't want to keep a long video. I want to keep it short and crisp. Third, one thing is when you want that, if there is any one uh, data which has, like if you want that, if I want to keep app properties, okay, so maybe it has multiple. So in that case, we can give multi-line. Okay, we can give multi-line. So if I want to give DB, server, board, or DB, server name. So in this way, you can, define multiple properties in one key. So that I wanted to tell. So, so that's all for today's video. So that's all for today's video. I hope it's helpful. Please let me know your views in the comment section. Till then, take care. Bye.